Good morning and welcome back to Granted Gardens. My name is Melissa and we have some updating to do. It's been a little while, I know, it has. I think maybe a couple months since we've put out a new video, and I'm sorry, but it was for good reason, okay? Tyler and I had our wedding last week. So for anyone who's ever planned a wedding, there's a lot that goes into it, and then there's a lot of like build up right at the end when everything needs to be finalized, and it just became too much. So I had to give myself grace and put all of my free time into just wedding stuff. That happened. For those of you that know us, you know that Tyler, my other half, and I both work full-time jobs, and we do this homesteading thing for fun. But sometimes it's really hard, especially when you have something massive going on in your life, to balance everything. But we're back, so I'm excited to kind of update you guys on things not only in the garden, but also in our life. I'm going to try and touch on things about the wedding throughout this video as well, but in all honesty, the garden has also been neglected greatly over the last few weeks. Much so over the whole summer, because we've had stuff going on. It's still alive, it's still thriving, but we've got some picking to do. So I'm going to take you guys along with me today as I harvest and talk to you a little bit about the wedding. This herb bed is completely overgrown and needs weeded, but I am going to get back into the dehydrator, get that back out on the kitchen table today. I'm gonna go ahead and get a bunch of oregano because we are running low, and pop this in the dehydrator. It was really nice for a very brief period of time to have a clean house. Not have a million things going on every cabinet and kitchen counter, but that time is over. It's time for a million things to be happening in the kitchen again. Not even sure I got a chance to update you guys on this one. This was the bed that we had our onions in. We pulled the onions and harvested them, and then did beets and radishes and such in here. And they're getting to be pretty good size. I'm getting there on some of them, not quite yet. We'll get on over to the big garden because I know there's stuff that needs to come out over here. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be doing this video. I miss it terribly. I miss it terribly. To just come out and just enjoy spending some time in the garden and walking through. Oh, it's so nice. Now, one thing that we chose to do at the wedding, which actually more Tyler chose than I went along with, was to write our own vows. I was really nervous about that. And it was just really cool because when we were writing them, we shared them with our best man and maid of honor, Zach and Jen Stivers, and they came back and they were like, did you guys like talk about this? Like, did you guys plan these? Because the concept was we were keeping them from each other so that we could share them on our wedding day special. And they're like, you guys must have shared with each other. We're like, no, we didn't. And so the day of the wedding came and we said our vows, and they were both very similar. And the one thing that it had in common was this garden concept. Let's see if I can get in here. There's no room. This was the pepper bed initially this year, but we had a lot of volunteer tomatoes come up, and I just kind of let them go because the peppers weren't looking that great. Now we have peppers and tomatoes. I have no idea what kind of tomato that is. It's different for sure. Let's see if we can get back here. Ooh, would you look at that? Beautiful. Perfect. So excited. Sorry if you can see all the bugs. There's a lot of bugs in here. So it got me thinking when I was writing my vows just about how important the garden really was to us and how much of like a metaphor the garden is for our relationship. And as I thought about that, I thought about all the times that we spent together out here and kind of what this space looked like when we first got together and started dating. I remember my first garden bed that we put in was a small one made out of a swing set. My dad built it for me, and my mom came over and helped me fill it. And while my mom was here, I was talking to her about Tyler. And I was telling her, I was like, I think we're gonna date. I really do. I think we're gonna start dating. Like, I think this is gonna get more serious. And it's funny that it was the day that we were installing the garden that I had that conversation with my mom. Pretty sure these are banana peppers, but those are the biggest banana peppers I've ever seen in my life. They're labeled banana pepper, but they don't look like them, but I'll take them. Like, that's a banana pepper. That's what a banana pepper looks like. Like this, right? I didn't realize they even got that big. From there, Tyler and I, we started dating, and the garden was very much something that we did together a lot. And we would spend a lot of time out here. He wholeheartedly is the reason why this garden grew so much, because he did the labor for the rest of us. He was the one that put in multiple more beds, the in-ground section, helped with the concept of the fence. Like, this whole thing from that point forward was entirely him. Had he not been as much a part of it, I don't think I would have gotten it to be like this. I would have never have had this. And this is something I've always wanted, but just honestly didn't think I'd ever have. Tyler is a humongous part of the direction that went in, and like bringing this to fruition. Check out these peppers. They're black. How cool is that? I also have no idea what these are. They're gold. Awesome. And so as I was writing my vows and I was thinking about all of this, I also realized that throughout that time of us building the garden and us enjoying it out here, the garden has also witnessed like some stuff to help us, watching us grow. That has been good and bad. This garden has seen happiness and joy and really fun times. Obviously Tyler proposed to me here. This garden's also seen some really rough ones where we were really having to dig deep to figure out how to speak to each other in times of anger, and learning how to work with each other when times got hard. And all of that happened right here in this backyard, right in front of this garden. And here I was worried we weren't going to have a good pepper year, but this is just the first harvest and there's a ton more left. I dried a lot of my noodle beans because we were having a hard time finding seeds this year. So we're gonna just save them from our own harvest here. Let them dry out, crack them open, save the seeds. Now this is a bit of a sad story. That somebody is getting to my tomatoes. That sucks. I still have a lot of tomatoes in here. And I got some big ones too. I don't want them to get to them. What do I do? We have picked tomatoes well up through the end of October in previous years. But I'm nervous about that because I could pick them now and turn them into something with just using green tomatoes. So like green tomato salsa or green tomato relish is really good. And I would like to do that this year. And so I could pick these now and do that, but it's kind of sad to think that if I did that, I won't be picking tomatoes in October. Weird things in the garden. The heck is that? It is like a sack of some sort. Ew, I don't know if I want to know. That is very strange looking. I've never seen that before. We had to pull the melons, and then the yard-long cucumbers that were on this arch here, because it was just, they were done. But I did sow some more cucumbers here, and it looks like they're coming up. Baby cucumber. Here are the other peppers. So the ones in the back row are Tyler's, and the ones in the front row are mine. I honestly thought that I planted one Thai pepper plant this year. I didn't. I think I have like 4 or 5. So there's a bunch on here that can be picked. That was smart. I'd do it with gloves. But they're so pretty. So, as my last day off before I go back to work, I figured it would be fitting to spend it here in the garden harvesting and just reflecting on what this has meant to us and how cool it was that when it came time for us to share our special words to each other, it was the garden that we went to. And I just think that's really awesome. I'm so grateful for this place. I do think that I have this like inkling that our lives are going to change. And I know that we won't always have this space specifically. But I'm really grateful for it, and I'm blessed to be able to share it with y'all. So I think from there, we're going to wrap this up. I'm gonna try and pick some Swiss chard because I would like to make soup with it today. So make sure that you guys stay tuned. We are back. I will try and post pictures from the wedding up on our Facebook page. If you're not friends with us on Facebook, you can literally go to Facebook and type in Visit Granted Gardens, and it'll pull you up on our Facebook page. I'll share pictures of the wedding there, so go check that out. And then there is probably going to be like an actual wedding video I'll put up with kind of a sneak peek to the wedding once we get everyone's pictures together, because we still haven't had a chance to really look at everyone's pictures, so I will do that as well. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I look forward to sharing more with you soon.